how to prevent DJ fails. I'm DJ Spiegel Spin, and I've made all these mistakes, so in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to avoid them. So especially if you're a new DJ, it could be terrifying to do your first couple of gigs, or even if you've been doing gigs for years, you still get those DJ nerves, and in your head you're thinking of all the stuff that could go wrong and all of the disasters that can happen. And it could be very nerve-wracking, and you could be afraid of embarrassing yourself. And there's a couple of really big fails that are easy to avoid if you just take the time to prepare yourself. So, the two types of fails when it comes to DJing are called tomatoes and train wrecks. So, first of all, a tomato is when you're DJing and everybody's dancing, there's a whole vibe, everyone's listening to music, having a good time, and then boom, the music stops. So there's no music playing, and then everyone went from having a good time to staring right at you, seeing what the hell you did wrong. And people get pissed. Some people might go boo, or that people might start heckling you. So this is one of the biggest DJ fails that you want to avoid. And the next one is going to be a train wreck. So that is when you are playing two songs at the same time, and they are not beat matched together, and they don't go together, so it sounds terrible, like a train accident, and it could hurt people's ears and give people headaches, and it's just not a good experience for anybody. And our brains can only process one beat at a time, so if there's two beats that aren't lined up, it is going to produce a terrible noise, and that is definitely something that we want to avoid. So first, let's talk about the tomatoes. Let's talk about why they happen and how to avoid them. So, one of the reasons why you could experience a tomato is if your device crashes, the device that you're using to DJ. Most DJs use laptops. I'm an iPad DJ, so I use my iPad. So whether you're using an iPad or whether you're using a laptop or even an all-in-one controller, it is very important anytime that you DJ live to an audience or it's a paid gig, always have a plan B. So for me, when I'm DJing with my iPad, I always have my phone ready. So I'll have my phone ready with the DJ Pro app on my phone, with a playlist ready to go, with a song loaded up that I know usually works most of the time, so that the second something happens with my iPad, I could go boom right there, play that song, and then I could set an auto mix with my phone, or even just mix on my phone, and then figure out what's going on with the iPad. Even some of the best iPad DJ apps, or even some of the best DJ softwares for the laptop, can crash and could freeze. And there's, Murphy's Law, whatever bad can happen will happen. So always be prepared. So there's a couple of ways you could set this up. If you are DJing with a controller, some of the more high-end or bigger controllers will have a auxiliary connection, so you could plug in to there and then plug the other end into your phone. Another thing you could do is if you're using an external mixer, a lot of DJs, they'll have their controller, they'll have their laptop, and then they'll have another mixer. And usually in these mixers, you'll have a place to plug in your phone or your other device. If you have another iPad or another laptop, you could plug it into one of these external channels, and then you're ready to go. Hopefully nothing will happen, but if something happens, there you go, playing a song on your phone, and you could buy yourself some time to figure out why your device crashed. Now, another thing that can happen that could cause the music to stop is if something gets unplugged, if something gets disconnected. So you have to make sure that you keep your DJ area, you keep people away from it, and you have your wires. If you're using wires that have to go across the floor, they have special tape to tape down your wires so nobody trips. This is also good to prevent insurance claims and prevent you getting sued or prevent anyone getting hurt. So if you have your wires under control, also take pride in your cable management. So when you set up all your equipment, make sure that there's no exposed wires hanging around that somebody drunk can go hook around their arm or they could kick. Make sure that all of everything with your DJ booth is nice and neat. And this also helps for if people are going to take pictures, and it could help promote you as a DJ, that you have a nice, clean DJ setup, and you don't have to worry about stuff falling over. And then another thing is handle your request well. So sometimes people will be very pushy with their request, and they'll come up to the DJ booth, and then especially if it's if you're on an elevated, like a stage type of thing, people will hang on to the booth. And I'm sure you guys all have seen the videos on TikTok and YouTube. The guy comes to go make a request and then pulls down the whole DJ booth, and everything falls and breaks. So a way to avoid this is just by handling these requests correctly. So one thing that always works for me is I'll say, if I have time later in the night, I'll play that for you, no doubt. And then they usually will leave you alone, and hopefully that you'll play it later. And then whether you do or not, that's up to you. Another thing that I found that helped me was I made a custom sample. I have videos on my channel on how to make your custom samples with DJ Pro, and I made this one.
No request.
So people find that funny, and it could be a really good way of diffusing the situation. Now, another fail that you could do is by playing the wrong song. So there are some songs in some situations that could be really offensive and could be really out of line to be playing in the place that you are. So if you're at if it's an older person's birthday party and there's older people, or if there's kids around and you play like Cardi B and stuff like that, that's inappropriate and with cursing and saying stuff that that isn't appropriate for the event, this could be a very good way to get you kicked off and to get you not hired again as a DJ. So make sure you are prepared and make sure you're aware of your crowd. You should always be watching the crowd, watching their expressions, watching what they do, so that you know if you are playing something that you shouldn't be playing, and then you could quickly correct it either by filtering it out, echoing it out, and then getting another song on that people are going to want to hear. Now, another fail that is pretty common is the train wreck, is you're trying too hard to blend two songs together. So a lot of people wrongly think that DJing is playing two songs at the same time. And it's a part of DJing, and knowing how to beat match and knowing how to manually mix two songs and play them together is good for your confidence and is a good skill to have. But at some events and some type of parties, people just want to listen to one song at a time. So don't go crazy. Don't think that you have to beat match and do mixes with all these songs. You could always do echo outs, and you could do various different transitions to get you from one song to another that don't involve beat matching. And just like with scratching or other advanced DJ techniques, save the practice, save the messing around for when you're at home and DJing in your bedroom. So unless you mastered the scratches and you mastered beat matching, don't try to do it when you're DJing for people, because you're being paid to DJ and you're not being paid to go there and practice and try something that you're not 100% confident in. I suggest practice your scratching, practice your beat matching, and then once you have it mastered, then you could bring it out and use it in your gigs. The only people that are going to care about beat matching and are going to care about scratching and stuff like that are going to be other DJs, and we're not there to DJ for other DJs. We're there to DJ for the people in the crowd and make sure everyone has a good time. So if you guys found value in this video, give this video a like. Also, if you want to learn more about DJing with the iPad, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments if you've experienced any of these DJ fails. Thanks for watching.